Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day wherever you are around the world. And welcome to our match reaction to Liverpool's 3-0 victory over Leicester City. Yes, a very good win for the Reds, of course. And as you can see, I am joined by two very special guests, Mickey Friars from Planet LFC, and of course, Jack Mack LFC as well. Mickey, how are you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm absolutely ecstatic after watching that performance.
Yeah, it was. To be fair, it was one hell of a performance. I would say that, to be fair. And of course, Jack Mack. Jack, how you doing, mate?
Not too bad, matey. Thank you very much for having me on. Can't wait to discuss the match. What a fantastic game that was, as Mickey said. A lot to dive into, Reds, but thank you for it, and welcome to everyone that's tuned in on the video. Thanks one for having me.
Absolute pleasure, man. And yeah, of course, guys, please do let us know in the comment section down below your thoughts and opinions about the game. This video will be premiering, I think, so we should be able to do it live. If not, then just let us know in the comment section. But of course, Liverpool have beaten a record then in some aspect of things. Now this Liverpool side has done it all. Won the Champions League, won the Premier League, and now has the run of the home undefeated run, of course, which is absolutely fantastic in many ways, because of course I think that to build a dynasty, then really I think you need to have that home form and have that shine through no matter what. But Mickey, I'll ask you this first. What impressed you the most about this victory over Leicester?
So how dominant we were. Our pressing was fantastic. We certainly had a style of play that stifled their counter attacking. Our pressing, our possession, the through balls, the attacking play. Slowly but surely, as the game was going on, apart from a 20-minute blip in the second half, we completely dominated that game. And I feel we should have scored a lot more goals. Different circumstances and a bit more confidence in Bobby, we may have got a few more goals, but I think they're to come in the next game.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, of course, Bobby Firmino, getting on the score sheet at Anfield, it was a rarity. I think that's been well documented over the last couple of months, at least anyway. But Jack, I'll ask you this, as well, of course, I think many people underestimated us coming into this game, with the amount of injuries that Liverpool have had so far this season. And really, I think pretty much, I think every Liverpool fan had confidence going into this game because we're Liverpool, we're the Premier League champions. But I think many rival fans thought that, this is, Liverpool done and dusted now for the season. They're not going to beat, the top contenders for the league this year as well. Have we set a statement out to those teams saying, look, please underestimate us and we'll just show you how good we actually are?
Yeah, most definitely, mate, because all I've been hearing from Sky and BT and everything say, oh, in Liverpool finish, you haven't got Van Dijk, you haven't got Gomez, Trent's out for a couple of more weeks as well. So, but yeah, it's always a big game when you play Leicester. And considering the manner, as Mickey just said, then the manner in which we played tonight, we played with that swagger, confidence, considering we've got a lot of injuries, so have Leicester, but considering that the key areas in which Liverpool's play their football, obviously Van Dijk, any team would miss a player of that calibre in their squad. But I think the performance tonight showed that Liverpool is so strong all over the park, from defence to midfield, and then obviously to attack as well. If there's any players that are missing, it's just gives us fans a lot of hope, really, when our lads do put in a shift in, especially obviously if they're not guaranteed first team starters, but the second team, not fringe players, because every player plays the part, but tonight's performance was excellent from start to finish, really.
Yeah, definitely. And, I think that the best thing about tonight's performance anyway was, like you said, Jack, and Mickey said as well, it was complete dominance, really. And it really showed how, Liverpool can bounce back from, the injuries that we have had, and like having the likes of Fabinho coming back as well from his hamstring injury, and having, Andy Robertson available as well. That was a huge bonus, especially because I think we would have ended up playing, James Milner and Kostas Tsimikas, as our fullbacks, which would have been, interesting. It might happen in midweek against, Atalanta, but for this game, I think it's important now for every Premier League game now is a must-win now until we are light years away from the rest. Then really, but Mickey, I'll ask you this as well. I know that Leicester, we all know they're a good side, and this season, if Leicester had won this game, they would have gone top of the league. Were you surprised by Leicester's performance and how Brendan Rodgers, tried to, work around Liverpool's, injuries, of course, going down the right-hand side, more often? I think it was around 75%. The first half, at least, they were trying down that side with James Milner and Joel Matip. Were you surprised by that, or do you think that was, Brendan Rodgers' only strategy for the game?
No, I think was clear. That was his plan. The simple fact of the matter is, our pressing was smack on tonight, and they just couldn't get their plan running. They tried to change it a little bit in the second half. They had a bit of success for about 10, 15, 20 minutes, was it? I'm not sure how long it was. There was starting to get a bit of thing, but I think we'd relaxed off a little bit then. And then I think Klopp was shouting something from the sidelines, and all of a sudden the pressing was back on. I just think our pressing today destroyed their game plan.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that overall, I think Liverpool were up one of their best performances this season. I think, in my personal opinion, Atalanta is probably the performance of the season so far. Jack, where would this rank, in your opinion, among Liverpool's performances this season? Would it be the best so far this season, or would it be up there with the best?
Yeah, for me, mate, especially in the league, I know we've had a couple of great performances this season in the league. A variety of different results. Obviously, games where you're sitting behind the ball, not playing your best football, but you still win. But I think tonight it was dominance, as Mickey said, and you've said already. From defensive point of view, considering the players we have got out, how average we made Leicester look yet again, considering how average we made them look last season. Obviously at the Foxes ground anyway, and obviously back at Anfield as well. But tonight's performance, the midfield, all over the place in a good way. The way in which we stifled Leicester's attacking players. Vardy didn't really have a sniff. I think he only big chance in which he had tonight. And in the first opening couple of minutes anyway, he blazed it over the bar. But I can't really think to the life of me really off the top of my head really a lot of big opportunities that Jamie Vardy loves to thrive on week in, week out in that Leicester squad. But yeah, it's probably one of my favourite results this season. But yeah, definitely. Yeah,
definitely. And look, I think all of us last season, I think pretty much all of us said that Leicester away was probably the best performance last season, of course, in a title winning year. So potentially, hopefully again it will be another title winning year, of course. But overall, I think that Liverpool, like Mickey said, I think Liverpool's pressing game was fantastic tonight. I think that overall, Jota, yet again, he is a man on the mission right now to keep that place in Liverpool's squad. And I think, to be honest with you, I think he's going to keep it for a very long time. And it's going to be interesting to see what Klopp actually does now with Mo Salah coming back as well. But overall, I'll go with Jack with this first. Who was the one player for you tonight that was the standout then, really, and really a man of the match then for the game?
I've got to pick James Milner for me. I know there's a lot of good performances tonight. Obviously, Fabinho, as Mickey's mentioned and you mentioned already, in terms of highlighting players. But James Milner, the way in which he stepped in, we know the quality in which he's got. But in terms of the deliveries tonight, obviously with the absence of Trent, who over the last couple of weeks, we've had the international break anyway, but when Trent doesn't play, Liverpool sometimes they attack and play down the right hand side isn't as fluid. But I felt James Milner tonight, phenomenal performance, and considering Leicester's attacking play was a majority of all down Milner's side, he stood up well, and he really didn't allow Leicester to bully him in terms of pacey players. Anyway, we know how quick Vardy is, and obviously Harvey Barnes and a couple of the others as well. But he didn't really look phased. He's a man above his years anyway. Obviously, he's getting on to nearly 40, but he doesn't look it. But yeah, he was a cut above the rest, I felt tonight, mate. Especially commanding, obviously, he had Curtis Jones quite close to him in the midfield and the right-hand side. So he was marshalling him through the game. And obviously, when Nico Williams come on as well in that second half, James moved into that midfield role anyway and really dictated and commanded this Liverpool display, really.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, looking at it, James, like you said, he's nearly 40, but he's probably the fittest player in the Premier League, which just shows, how well, he's kept himself over the last couple of years and that. But Mickey, I'll ask you like the same question almost. I know Jack said, it was brilliant for James Miller, doing fantastic in the first half at right back, and then, going into midfield, in the second half and doing fantastic there as well, which shows, the credibility really of having versatile players in much respect. But for you, who was your man of the match for the game, and who impressed you the most out of everyone?
So I'll go for my three. I'll go third Milner, simply because his passing was just unbelievable, and he played two positions today, which he played pretty good. In fact, better than that, but you know what I'm saying. My next one was Jota, simply because he's broke a record today and he looked sharp. He could have had a couple more. And like the record he broke is he's the first player in Liverpool's history to score in his first 4 home games. Let's hope that form carries on for the rest of the season. He scores in every home game forever.
That'd be nice.
To me, Fabinho just came in. He marshalled Vardy out of the game completely. He's not the fast. Vardy's far faster than Fabinho, but Fabinho was beating him every time because Fabinho's a clever player. Very. He was in the right place at the right time. This guy could play centre back permanently alongside Virgil when Virgil's back. I really do feel now Klopp's unearthed something here. By accident, due to injuries, we've found something that works.
Yeah, well, it does work. It does, plain and simple. It does work, and I think, like you said, maybe Klopp has, come under, something amazing at Fabinho centre back, because, I think everyone knows it around the world of football. Liverpool need centre offs in January. Well, maybe Liverpool might look for a midfielder in January and move Fabinho more permanently to centre back, and then maybe we might then look for a proper number 4 centre back. Maybe someone under the blue. Who knows? But it will be interesting to find out, really. And it's fantastic, that Fabinho is back in centre back anyway. But for me, Andy Robertson was my man of the match. Personally, I think he was absolutely fantastic. Yet again, for me, he's probably one of the players of the season so far. He just works his socks off every week, and it was great. It was great to actually know that Robbo wasn't injured as well. So that, because injuries are a problem for Liverpool this season. I think that's a bit of an understatement, if I'm being perfectly honest. But yeah, man of the match for me, guys, is Andy Robertson as well. But I'll ask you both this question, and we kind of spoke about this on Jack's channel, so please go and check out Jack's video on his channel as well. It'll be in the video description down below anyway. But we talked a little bit about Tottenham. Of course, Liverpool and Tottenham are both joint top of the league right now. Tottenham are officially top of the league because of goal difference, but who cares about goal difference, really? But are Tottenham a title threat? I'll ask Jack this first. Do you see them being, potentially our rivals for the title this season?
I think we'll have to wait and see, because we know how Tottenham are. Tottenham. They're always consistent bottlers. Like the seasons in which obviously Leicester won the league, that was their title. Theirs and Arsenal's. I tell you, if they've got a world class manager in Mourinho, but I tell you, he's got them playing very well. He's got a world class squad. The side that went second in the Champions League, he's not inherited a bad squad at all, and he's got a couple of very good players, probably even some of the best players in the Premier League. But I don't think they will, just due to, yet again, a mentality issue amongst the Tottenham players within that squad, proper players. I think it will be, if Liverpool are to continue to keep on playing like we are and picking up points. I know City have looked very much off the boil, but you can't really count out them due to obviously how they do in January. Do they go out and spend, really? And if Liverpool, I think we will need to reinforce in a lot of areas, not just defensive, but in midfield, as you mentioned, mate. Even play Bobby Firmino CDM. It's a joke, but obviously opposition fans do say he's a defensive striker. But yeah, mate, I don't see Tottenham, but it wouldn't surprise me due to the fact in which they have got Jose Mourinho, who's a fantastic, world-class manager. And that's just detriment. And if you're a Manchester United fan or Manchester United chairman or whatnot, you'll be absolutely kicking yourself given what job he's done at Man United, and you just look away to Tottenham now.
Yeah, I think it. To be honest with you, I think it shows how where Man United are right now. Not only with Jose Mourinho as manager, I think overall just shows how poor they are. And look, you joke about Bobby Firmino being CDM. It's a possibility. I think Bobby could play anywhere. I think anyone could play anywhere in this side. I think even Robbo was talking about playing centre back. If the manager wants me to play there, I'll play there. I'll just do it. But Mickey, do you see Tottenham as title challengers this season? Because I think we've all agreed that Man City have fallen off quite a lot since they last won the title not last season, the season before. But it's like Jack said, you do still have to take them as a threat because they are the money whores then of the Premier League, if you really want to call them that, and as well Pep Guardiola as well. But do you see Tottenham being our nearest title rivals this season?
Yes, I do, because I think under Mourinho has changed a good squad that finished second to us. I had a poor season last season. Yeah. What that problem was, we don't know. We probably never will know. Mourinho struggled at first simply because the team he inherited does not play his style. He's now got them playing his style. And I have seen a massive improvement in Son and Kane this season. And that's saying something because they are great players, yeah? And they are looking unplayable at the moment, Son and Kane. Kane's not just scoring goals now. Kane's making goals.
Yeah.
Never did that before. He was always greedy. Under Mourinho, he was a team man. I hate to say it, yeah, I'm glad he failed at United, but I think any manager would fail at United with that current board. Yeah. I think they're in for a hiding. Hence why old Ollie on the wheel will stay for a while because not many managers want that job. They know now that it's a poison chalice.
Yeah.
And it was a poison chalice. Mourinho did say, my greatest achievement in my career was getting Man United to second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my great. And considering the bloke is a serial winner. He won the league for Real Madrid when Barcelona were in their height. So this guy knows how to win leagues. Maybe our experience of the last 2 years might put us a little bit more in front. But I can see Tottenham being not just a challenger this season, but Tottenham emerging with City and, I'm going to say this now, Chelsea, the top 4 teams in England for the next 4 or 5 years. It's going to be so tough to win the league for the next 3 or 4 years with them 4 teams.
Yeah, well, it is interesting, and I think all of us remember like the traditional top 4. Going back maybe 10 years ago or plus that. It was us, United, Chelsea, and Arsenal. It would always be us 4, in the top 4. And I think Mickey's right. I think those 4 teams. I think we are probably going to be the top 4 for a period of time, and then you might have the teams like Leicester. You might have maybe a Wolves might do it and break into the top 4, and that might even be an Arsenal. That might be a thing, even though Arsenal are Arsenal at the minute. But it is interesting because like Mickey did say, it is going to be hard to win the Premier League. It was going to be hard enough with the likes of Van Dijk and Gomez, but it's going to be even more harder now, to win it, of course. But to be fair, like the lads have said, Fabinho, he is the Brazilian Virgil van Dijk. In many respects, and he is just absolutely fantastic. I think all of us can agree with that. To be fair, but before we do head off, then I'll ask the lads this. Jack, if you could describe this game in one word, what would it be?
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful.
In every aspect of how we played. I think defending was spot on. Like you can't really, it's a finger beauty the way we treat defended, considering we've got two of our two big parents out in your man and dad and Joe Gomez and Van Dijk. So the two figureheads in the family at the centre back. But yeah, in midfield was well run, absolutely superb, and the attacking plays they were delivering really, and he's doing absolutely everything spot on.
Yeah, definitely. And Mickey, how could you describe this game in one word?
I'm going to describe it in one word, then I'm going to describe it in 2 words after. So the first word is masterclass, and the 2 word is Klopp's masterclass.
Oh, I'll accept that. I'll accept that. Kind of breaking the rules, but I'll accept it.
Masterclass. The boy, you could see the boys were given a job.
Yeah.
And they all did their job. And if even with these injuries, if the players that can't come in, whoever Klopp chooses, Nathaniel Phillips, Williams, anybody, if they all do their job, we will win games.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that 100%. But lads, thank you so much for coming on to this match reaction. Hopefully all of you guys have loved all of our thoughts and our reactions towards Liverpool's 3-0 win over Leicester. Of course, I believe, there might be some Leicester fans in here. Bayer, I'm looking at you, that might, disagree with what we've said, but, who cares? Liverpool have won. Liverpool are top of the league, kind of.
No dodgy penalties.
No dodgy penalties. I know Anthony did want a dodgy penalty that we haven't really talked about, and we're not going to talk about because it wasn't a penalty. So
yeah, it wasn't.
I've said this now, and literally both Mickey's and Jack's faces like, oh Jesus.
I was they didn't play at all. Leicester, just a quick one on Leicester. They played shocking tonight. Considering obviously I would have expected a lot better tonight from them. As I said on my show, mate, I think Rodgers yet again. He showed Liverpool far too much respect. He's right, Brendan, not. But yeah, he showed us too much respect. Obviously, because his missus might be a scout anyway. I'm pretty sure she is anyway, so that's probably why.
Yeah, she is. He might put Klopp's rent up as well.
Yeah.
Oh no! every time you beat me, the rent goes up a little bit. That's the sad thought of it. But I don't think Jurgen minds, to be fair. But yeah,
Klopp's got a 50p machine.
Wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me. But thank you to the both lads for coming onto the show. Please go and check them in the video description down below. Both lads are there, of course. Absolute pleasure as always, lads. But guys, if you did like the video, then please leave a like on it. It's very much appreciated. You could also as well hit the subscribe button here before you go over to both Planet LFC and Jack Mac LFC. Please go and check those guys out and please subscribe. And also as well, please hit notifications as well, because YouTube for some reason hate notifications, and it reminds yourself anyway of when we go live or when the lads go live as well. But until next time, guys, that is going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I will see you all next time. Tra Reds.